The engagement party at the Riverside Ballroom was unfolding exactly as anticipated. 200 guests, champagne flowing freely, and my sister Brooke parading her engagement ring like it was a crown jewel. 2 carats, platinum setting, a sum equal to 3 months of her fiancé's salary, and she'd retold the proposal story at least a dozen times tonight. My parents beamed, peppering her with questions about the jeweler, the cut, the clarity, as if they were evaluating a rare gemstone. I hovered near the bar, holding a glass of pinot noir, offering obligatory congratulations when prompted, basically invisible. Then Uncle James arrived, and everything changed. James wasn't just my father's younger brother. He was a venture capitalist who had made his fortune backing tech startups in the 90s. More importantly, he was the only family member who'd kept in touch with me over the past 8 years, despite living 3,000 miles away in San Francisco. "Sorry I'm late, everyone," he said, weaving through the crowd to our family group. He hugged Brooke, shook her fiancé's hand, then turned to me with a warm grin. "Sophia, it's so good to see you." He stepped back, taking me in. "You look incredible. How's life in that $1.5 million house you bought? The neighborhood, everything you dreamed?" The room went still. Brooke froze mid-gesture, ring hand extended. My mother's champagne flute hovered midair. My father paled. "James, what house?" my father whispered, voice tight. I sipped my wine slowly, savoring the moment. 8 years of being overlooked, dismissed, living as the family afterthought while Brooke's every accomplishment became a spectacle, and now, finally, the truth was surfacing. "The house on Sterling Heights," James said casually, accepting a passing champagne flute. "Sophia bought it in 2016. Beautiful craftsman with a mountain view, absolutely stunning. I stayed there last time I was in town." Brooke's voice broke first, sharp with disbelief. "Sophia doesn't own a house. She rents that apartment near the university." "I rented that apartment," I replied calmly, "for a couple of years during my PhD. Then I bought the Sterling Heights house. That was 8 years ago." My father's hand shook around his flute. "What are you talking about?" "The 5-bedroom craftsman I bought for $1.2 to $2 million in June 2016, I said evenly. "Market value now, around $1.5 million. Shock rippled through them. My mother clutched her throat. Brooke's perfectly rehearsed smile faltered. "That's impossible," my mother whispered. "Where would you get over $1 million?" "I put down $240,000 and financed the rest," I explained. "Paid it off 6 years ago." James nodded approvingly.
"Smart move."
"Sophia's always been excellent with money. That Helix Pharmaceuticals signing bonus? Entirely toward the mortgage. Paid off $960,000 in just 2 years." "Signing bonus?" my father echoed faintly. "When I started at Helix," I said, $180,000. "Used it all to reduce the mortgage." "You got $180,000? Brooke gasped. "Standard for senior pharmaceutical research roles," I said. "Current total compensation, $375,000, including bonuses and stock options." The room went utterly silent. A champagne flute slipped, shattering on marble. My mother looked ready to faint. $375,000, my father repeated mechanically. "A year?" "Base $280,000, I clarified. Performance bonuses average $60,000 and stock options vested this year around $35,000. James grinned. "She's being modest." "My stock options?" my mother asked. "Another $420,000 invested, plus patent royalties." "Patent royalties?" my mother whispered. "I hold 11 patents in oncology drug delivery, generating roughly $95,000 annually." Brooke's hand began to shake. That 2-carat ring suddenly looked tiny. My parents froze, struggling to reconcile this with the daughter they thought they knew. "I don't understand," my mother said, voice cracking. "You're a pharmaceutical researcher. How is this possible?" "I'm director of oncology research at Helix," I explained. "I lead 47 researchers. We're in phase 3 trials for a pancreatic cancer drug that could save thousands of lives annually." James pulled out his phone. Sophia's work was featured in Nature Medicine last month. Groundbreaking research, potentially Nobel-worthy. Nobel Prize. My father croaked. Too early to say, I said, uncomfortable, but the work is promising. Brooke finally spoke, defensive. Why didn't you tell us any of this? I did, I said softly, several times. You didn't listen. That's not true, my father insisted. James set his phone down. Actually, it is true. I have the email Sophia sent me, November 2016. She told Mom and Dad about the house then. Dad said I was being reckless. Mom asked if I could handle the upkeep. April 2018, she mentioned paying off the mortgage at Easter dinner. They asked if that meant she was out of a job. We didn't say that, my mother murmured weakly. You did, I said evenly. You assumed that clearing a mortgage meant I'd lost my job, not that I'd earned enough to pay it off. The realization hit my mother like a physical blow. Her eyes glistened with tears. My father's jaw tightened so sharply, I could see the muscle twitch. Uncle James went on, as if nothing had happened. Sophia, have you decided about the lake house investment? That property is exceptional. What lake house? My father demanded. Luxury property on Lake Serenity, James explained. 6 bedrooms, private dock, 3 acres. Sophia is considering it as a vacation rental. Why would she need a vacation rental? Brooke asked, voice thin and incredulous. For income diversification, James replied. She already owns 4 rental properties besides her main house. This would be her 6th. The news landed like a thunderclap. My mother swayed. My father steadied her by the elbow. Brooke looked like she'd been slapped. Rental properties, my mother whispered. Small single-family homes in emerging areas, I explained. I buy below market, renovate, rent to young professionals. Average net cash flow, $1,800 per unit per month. That's $7,200 a month, my father calculated, voice trembling. Over $86,000 a year, not including appreciation. James added, and their value has risen an average of 42% since purchase. Total real estate equity, about $2.1 million. The numbers struck like artillery. Brooke's hand, still frozen from her engagement ring display, dropped to her side. My parents stood paralyzed, struggling to reconcile this version of me with the daughter they thought they knew. $2 million in real estate, my father repeated slowly. That's just real estate, James said. Sophia's net worth, including retirement accounts, investments, stock options, and liquid assets, is closer to $3.2 million. $3 million. Brooke whispered, hoarse. 3.2. I corrected softly. Approximate. Market fluctuations could alter the exact figure. My mother's champagne flute slipped unnoticed to the floor. You're a multi-millionaire. On paper, I said. Mostly invested or tied up in property. James's colleague, Dr. Elizabeth Park, approached with a warm smile. Sophia, I didn't know you'd be here. Congratulations on the FDA breakthrough designation. Amazing news. Thank you, Elizabeth. We're thrilled about the potential. The FDA granted breakthrough therapy designation for our pancreatic cancer drug 3 weeks ago, my father asked faintly. I explained the fast-track approval process. If everything goes smoothly, approval could come in 18 months instead of the usual 4 years. Elizabeth beamed. Sophia's work will save countless lives. She's brilliant. Are you presenting at the Geneva conference next month? Yes, Phase 3 preliminary data, I confirmed. My mother said the International Oncology Research Symposium, James added. I'm delivering the keynote on novel drug delivery systems, I said. Keynote? James scoffed. She's the youngest keynote speaker in the symposium's 40-year history. Huge deal. Brooke's voice turned bitter. So now you're just famous? I'm respected in my field, not famous. I corrected. Over 4,000 citations, 37 peer-reviewed papers, revolutionized oncology drug delivery, Elizabeth added. That's more than respect. That's recognition for true brilliance. The praise felt awkwardly intense, but I appreciated Elizabeth's support. My parents were in shock. Brooke looked nauseous. I need air, Brooke muttered, pushing toward the balcony. Her fiancé hesitated, glancing between her and our family, then followed. My mother started after them, but my father held her back. Let them go, Patricia, he whispered. We need to talk to Sophia. What's left to talk about? I asked. You didn't know about my house. Now you do. That's it. It's not just that, my mother said, tears streaming. How have you achieved all this without us knowing? Because you never asked, I said simply. Every conversation about my life redirected to Brooke. You assumed that because I didn't broadcast everything, I had nothing to show. James nodded. I've seen it for years. Every phone call, every family event. The Brooke show. Brooke's job. Brooke's boyfriend. Brooke's engagement. Meanwhile, Sophia could cure cancer. And you'd ask Brooke if she wanted dessert, I said. That's not fair, my father protested. Isn't it? James countered. When was the last time you asked Sophia about her research? Her home? Her life? When did you last treat her as if she had something worth celebrating? The silence was deafening. My father looked away. My mother sobbed openly. I can tell you exactly when, I said quietly. 6 years ago, at Thanksgiving, you asked about my research. I started explaining my work on nanoparticle drug delivery, and after 2 minutes, you interrupted to ask Brooke about her new apartment. You haven't asked since. The memory seemed to shatter something in my mother. I'm sorry, she whispered. For what? I asked. For not listening. For not caring. For 8 years of treating you as less important than Brooke. We love you both equally, my father insisted. Do you? I asked. Can you tell me the company I work for, my title, the disease I research, where I live, anything real about my life? The room went quiet. My father's jaw worked. My mother's tears fell onto her dress. Helix Pharmaceuticals, James said. Director of Oncology Research. Pancreatic cancer. 2847, Sterling Heights Drive. Sophia leads breakthrough drug development that could save thousands of lives every year. We should have known all that, my mother admitted. Yes, I said. You should have. What do you want from us? My father asked, voice rough. Nothing, I said, and realized it was true. I wanted their pride once, their attention, their interest. But I stopped needing that years ago when I accepted it wouldn't happen. Maybe it can happen now, my mother pleaded. Can it? I asked sharply. Or do you just want access to your millionaire daughter? Do you want to know me? Or do you want to brag about me now that I can't be overlooked? Her flinch was immediate. My father looked stricken. We never thought you were disappointing, he said. You just thought I was less impressive than Brooke, I said. Less successful. Less worthy of your time. You were wrong, catastrophically wrong, but you didn't know because you never bothered to look. James rested a hand on my shoulder. Sophia, maybe we should. I'm leaving, I said, cutting him off. Tonight is Brooke's celebration. I shouldn't have come. Sophia, please. My mother reached for me. I stepped back. Enjoy the party. Celebrate Brooke's engagement. That's what you do best. I walked toward the exit, my heels clicking across the marble. I heard my mother call my name, but I didn't turn. In the lobby, Uncle James caught up. You okay? I think so, I said. That was harder than I imagined. You were perfect, he said. Calm, dignified, honest. Everything they needed to hear. They're going to call, I said. Tonight, tomorrow, they'll want to fix this. Maybe, he said. But you don't owe them an easy reconciliation. You spent 8 years trying to be seen. If they want a relationship now, they need to earn it. And if they can't, then you'll be fine, he said firmly. You have an extraordinary career, financial security, work that matters, and people who actually value you. You don't need parents who only care once they see your net worth. He was right. I knew it, but the ache of it lingered. Thank you, I said, hugging him. For seeing me, for being proud of me, he said. You are the most accomplished person in this family. Don't let their blindness make you doubt it. I drove home to Sterling Heights, My five-bedroom craftsman with its mountain views and custom finishes. The life I had built with my own brilliance, determination, and relentless effort. Everything was exactly as I'd left it. The home office with research data and manuscripts, the library stacked with medical journals and oncology texts, the guest suite where Uncle James stayed, the master suite with spa bath and walk-in closet. Each room a choice, a goal realized, a dream fulfilled. Not for their approval, but for me.
My phone rang.
Mother. Voicemail. Father. Voicemail. A text from Brooke. You couldn't let me have one night. I set it down and walked through my house. The kitchen for dinner parties they'd never attended, the backyard garden for the local food bank, the basement gym and meditation space. No anger came, only clarity. Clean, cold, liberating clarity. I'd built something extraordinary. Financial independence, professional recognition, meaningful work. I was transforming cancer treatment, all without their knowledge, support, or approval. I never needed it. Tomorrow would bring calls, apologies, and attempts to fix things. But tonight, in my home, surrounded by 8 years of quiet triumph, I let myself feel the full weight of what I had achieved, without them, in spite of them, and because of me.